Okay, so now I've got that working, so I've got my character all moving and switching and facing the right way, and I've now got this, if he's touching certain colours, we're going to broadcast game over, and then it will change the background, so we can have any sort of thing come up. The same sort of thing can be done, so when you touch this green colour, you broadcast game win, and then it will come up with a screen saying you've won, so I'll leave that one for you guys to do, okay? The next step is trying to make this game a bit more complicated, isn't it? So there's a couple of things we can do. To start off with, you want to add in your own enemy, some sort of nasty object, so if you touch it or if it shoots you, then you die, with the game over, comes up again, okay? So I'm going to add in an enemy that's just going to float back and forward, it's going to float nicely back and forward, just making the game a bit more challenging, okay? So first off, we need to import a new sprite, because the enemy is going to be a new sprite. Okay, so we come in and we choose new sprite. Now I'm going to pick, you can pick anyone, again you can draw one if you want, import it from the internet. I'm going to pick this bee. Okay, so we've got a nice big bee. I might make him just a little bit smaller, it looks a bit, whoops. That does look a bit silly. So now we need to make this bee move by himself. Okay, so I'm going to come into control, and it's going to be when the green flag is clicked, then because then so when the game starts, I want the bee to be alive. Now I'm going to start him off in a certain position, so I'm going to say you're going to go to, and if you notice that's the position he's already in at the minute, and it will automatically pick it. So he's going to go to the position he's in at the minute whenever the green flag is clicked, and then I want him to do a couple of things. Now I want him to keep doing this. I don't want him to do it once and then not do it again. So that's really important that we use this forever loop, so he keeps doing it. Okay, so forever he is going to glide from one position to another one. Okay, so we can glide. You can glide 1 second. So I'm going to say he's going to take about 5 seconds, and he's going to glide to a certain coordinate. So if I just find the random coordinates of x187, 187, and I think that was something like 76, but I can't be sure. So he's going to glide 5 seconds to x, and then he's going to glide, and then we're going to ask him to wait. So if I come into control, I've got a little wait feature. I can't seem to find. We're going to wait 1 second, just to make it difficult, and then he's going to glide back to his original position, and then again he's going to wait, and then he's going to glide back. So if I press this now, either my bee is now gliding from one side, and he will glide back to the other one. Okay. So the reason why he goes back quicker is because I forgot to change the glide. So this will determine the speed. Okay, and if I didn't want him to wait as long, you can make that 0.5 of a second, or you can just get rid of it altogether. Okay, so I'm going to glide back and forward. Now, obviously, again, we might want him to face the way that he's going. So I'm going to copy this, and I'll come in edit, and I'm going to rotate it. Okay, so I've got B1 and B2. We're going to start him off on B1. So whenever he starts, actually here we can do it. So we can switch costume, and we can set, we'll set him to, I'll tell you what, oops. So whenever the game starts, we're going to set him to B1, and then when he glides across, when he then begins to glide back, we want him to go to B2, and then obviously when he comes here, we're going to come to B1. So therefore, he goes to B1, he starts, he's gliding across, and then now he's going to switch to B2, which is facing the other direction, and he's going to go back. So I reckon you'd probably get rid of this weight brick, and then you'd have something like that. We'll make this so it looks a bit less silly. Have him come back, so he's gliding from one point, and then he's going to switch to B2, and he's going to glide backwards. Okay, so that's an element to the game. You can make it slightly more complicated, obviously, because he's now just going in the same bit, and he'll go back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Okay, so what I would do is I'd come into operators, and I would pick a random. So this actually picks a random value. Okay, so you can say, well, he's going to glide to a position that is between 130 and 200 on the x coordinate. So we'll take that on over there, and on the y, let's have him. So let's have him between 30 and 180. So we'll bring in another one, and we'll have 30 and 100, 180. So now we drag that in, and we click this, and we can just see that now he's going to continually this way across. That's going to be a random point each time. So when he's going back, it's going to be a completely different position. He now floats up a little bit. Okay, So I might get rid of that weight, but that's how you can make it random, and you can do that for all of these numbers. So he begins in a random position, and that makes it less easy to guess. You could also have the speed of him random, bring that in random between 1 and 10, so then he's a random speed each time. He could be quick, he could be slow, and that's how you can add an enemy with random elements to your game.